For some more real-life examples, we've got another one here. Letter A says, write and solve a proportion to complete the statement. Round to the nearest hundredth if necessary, which that probably will be necessary in most of these. So I'm going to do letter A with you, and then I'm going to give you a hint for letters B, C, and D. But I'm going to let you finish them on your own. So let's go through this example together. So this says 7.5 inches is equivalent, that little squiggle sign is an equivalency sign, is equivalent to blank centimeters. So how many centimeters? So the way that we're going to solve this, it says, is write and solve a proportion. So a proportion that I could write is an inches compared to centimeters proportion. So if I were to look at the information that I have, I've got that 7.5 inches, and I want to put it into, I don't know how many centimeters. I'm just going to call that X, right? So I'm going to make that my first ratio. And the way that I would make that a ratio is just by writing 7.5 inches over my X centimeters. And then the next ratio that I need in order to make it a proportion is by looking for a conversion factor, which is where we bring in the table, which is why I've made a copy of it on this slide, and it's also on your notes. So we need to find the inches to centimeters conversion. And that one is right here. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So I can also write that as a proportion, or I'm sorry, as a ratio. So 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. And now I've got a proportion which has a variable, so I can solve. So let's use cross products in order to solve this. Let's first take x times 1, which is going to just give us x, and set that equal to the products of 7.5 times 2.54. And when I do that, I get 19.05. That was free from taking 7.5 times 2.54. So this means that up here, instead of x, my answer is 19.05 centimeters. So now for example 3, B, C, and D, I want to give you some hints. So I'm going to go to example B, or example 3B, which is an on your own problem, but I want to give you one piece of information, and that's that the conversion is actually not even on this page. So I want to give you the conversion to go from 1 gram to how many ounces. And that conversion is that 1 gram is equal to 0.035 ounces. So you will need to use that conversion that I just wrote as one of your proportions in order to solve this one. Another on your own question is example 3C and example 3D. So these are both going to require that you kind of convert them twice. So for letter C, according to these conversions, you'll need to go from liters to quarts. Well, you'll see that there's not a liters to quarts down here. So my suggestion is to go from liters to gallons to quart. And then for letter D, 4 meters into feet, you'll also see that there's not a meter into feet, but there is meter into inches. So you'll need to go from meters to inches to feet. So because of both of these are 2 steps, they're going to be pretty tricky, but all that means you have to do is give me your best shot. And as long as you try your best, then that is all I can ask for. Good luck.